Hi guys, John with you, back again, and we're on to now the last few little bits of weathering on the Marder. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is my way of doing some rust streaks. There are plenty of different ways out there to do them. This is not the definitive way of doing it. This is my way of doing it. Couple of little bits and pieces you will need. Okay, so we'll go down to the bench. I'll show you what you need. We'll do a start on it, and then we'll kind of come back then and we'll see the results of the whole yoke. So down to the bench, and let's get started. Okay guys, so we're down at the bench now, and a couple of things we'll need now for our rust streaking. Okay, first of all, you need some oil paint. Okay, burnt sienna is the one I use. You will also need a pair of brushes. Okay, you need a size, I think it's a size 0 actually, right? A really sort of a small tip one. And you'll need another one then. I think it's a size 1 or nearly a 2. We're not 100% sure. It's an old brush, and the Americans have gone off it, so I don't know what it is. But you can just kind of guess from the size there. But reasonably old brush. Never use a good brush for weathering. You also need a small little container with some white spirit in it. Okay, that is just a little bit of white spirit. You will need some tissue paper. That's to keep your brush nice and clean. And you will need, of course, your vehicle or whatever it is you're going to rust. Okay, so let's start. Now, some people, what they do is they'd dispense some of that onto a bit of card or something. No need whatsoever, because I mean, once you take it out, you can't exactly try and get it back in. So comes up to the top there, dip in your brush, get a little bit on your brush. Now we're going to do this panel, and then I'm going to come back afterwards and get some more, right? So I want a little bit under there, so rust streaking down from there, right? Little bit here at the top. We'll have some rust streaking down from that bolt there, and from 2 of those little spots there as well, right? Let me put one there as well, just to make it nice and neat. So we've got a couple of spots there where we've got a little bit of oil paint. Okay, now I don't know if I have enough on there yet or not, but you'll find out very fast, right? So what you want now is you want your clean brush. Okay, this got a little bit of white spirit on it. Dry most of it off on the mat. So your brush now is damp. It's not wet. It's not soaking, but it's damp. Okay, so we come in close now. Right, there for that 3 seconds. Right, now slowly start bringing it downwards. See that? Nice little bit of rust streaking. Clean off your brush. And again, like I said, just to start streaking it down. Now we've a lot in that one. Okay, so we don't want that much. So again, clean your brush off. And by tapering it in, we're removing some of it. Now some people, slightly stiffer brush might work wonders with this, but I like the I like a soft brush for it. Okay, seems to have a bit more kind of control over the softer bristles. Here we go again now. Okay, so we've got our kind of our rust stains as well as a bit of streaking. Like a bit of streaking. Ooh, misses. Right, so we're now coming down from this the bracket there that holds the area. Okay, see that? And that's the way, just keep it nice and subtle. You don't want it too stark, you don't want it kind of sticking out that you'll see it from a mile away or anything like that. Just keep it nice and subtle. Nothing too dramatic. And that's the way you want to kind of keep it. By not having it too dramatic, it just makes it look a little bit more realistic than when it would be if it was sort of dramatically done. So there you go. You can get the idea from that. Now I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit. As you see there, I just added another little bit of oil paint there because I basically kind of cleaned off a little bit too much. And the same again now, I'm after cleaning it all off again. Okay. And there we go. There's a nice little bit of rust streaking. Okay. So I'm going to carry on now. I'm going to get a few bits here, a few more at this side, some along the top and some along around here. So when that's done, I'll come back. I'll show you what I ended up with, and like I said, we'll have another quick discussion of it, and we'll see how things went. Okay. So join me in a sec, and I'll have the rest of it done. Okay, so now I'm almost finished. Just one last little thing I just wanted to show you. Just in case, just say you do a little bit too much in an area and you want to remove it, okay? And just put a big streak down there like that, right? And you say, oh, for feck's sake, look what I'm after frickin' doing. Cotton bud, okay? Dip it in your white spirit, get most of it off, and clean it off. Okay. And you can use the cotton bud then as well to direct some of your streaks down. Okay, there we go. Thing about rust is never universal, as in how things rust. You might have two nails, exact same nails, leave them out in the rain or whatever, and after a couple of days they'll both start to rust. But they'll rust differently. Some will rust a bit more than the others, you know, and that's just the way it is. It's just nature or whatever it is, right? When you're doing flat bits, like we'll put a bit of rust now here around this chipping, and we want it to turn out like that there. Okay, so just like a little kind of a patch of surface rust, right? Put a small bit of it down, get your cotton bud, just sort of play around with it, move it around a bit. Okay. Now that little scratch becomes a slightly rusty scratch. See it? There we go. A little bit closer in there. Ooh, we get it right up close and we get a good look at it. See there? Little bits of surface rust. Can't beat them. Can't beat them at all. And I use that sort of sequence around here, around the back. Okay. Just made little bits of surface rust here and there. So all you do is just kind of, you're staining that area more than you know, creating a streak, which you'd be doing on the sides. But on flat surfaces, you just want to kind of an area to kind of just get a little bit rusty and stuff. Did a bit there on the exhaust pipe as well, so the exhaust pipe now is starting to kind of come around with different little bits of rust. When that dries in, it won't be so shiny. Also, as you can see, I drilled out the bit of the exhaust pipe, so it looks a little bit better. And just a few extra little bits of rust streaks on the back. Okay, and a nice little bit of a good rust size stain then on the back of that. And it's all done the same way. It's just by tapping a little bit on and playing around with it, moving it around and using either, say, a cotton bud or your brush, and just play around with it and you know, get it to where you're happy with it. And once you're happy with it, then leave it at that. Okay, try not to overdo it, because overdoing it makes it look a bit too much, right? But with that little bit done now, when you sort of see it from a distance, it just makes it that little bit better. Okay, close up, you might say to yourself, oh, it's a bit much, but not too much, right? Oh, I've got one up here now that I've got to kind of clean off a bit better. I don't like the look of that, right? So, in with my cotton bud. The great thing about working with oils is you have plenty and plenty of work time. Okay, now see there, toned it right down, looks an awful lot better. Now, if you like that technique, that's one way of doing it. Like I said, there's lots of other ways of doing sort of rust streaks. That's the way I do them. And thing about it is, you've got to leave it dry. It's always a little bit shinier just after you do it. And remember, do it before you do your dull coating and your dust spraying. Leave it dry for a couple of hours, because what you want the white spirit to kind of dry off it. Just leave the little bits of oil, pigments or whatever they use, and just leave it dry in. Try not to touch it, because in touching it you can smudge it and you're back to square one. You're cleaning it off and going back over it again. So do your little bit of streaks, put it aside, leave it dry for an hour or two, and then go back in then and dull coat or seal everything in then with your dull coat. Okay, I'll be doing that. I'm going to leave that dry. I'm going to give it a coat then of this XF86, which is the dull coat that I use, the flat coat, flat clear. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a light dust coat of XF57 buff. Going to give it from, say, like I said, 10 or 11 inches away. Just give it a very, very light kind of dusting. You know, keep the hand moving nice and nice flow in the hand, and that will be it then. So the next time you see this will be the final reveal, and I might even stick it onto one of my old bases. Yes, I want to stick it onto one of my old bases just to make it look a bit better than sort of sitting there on a green mat. We'll try and make it look a little bit decent indeed. So anyway, lads, that's my rust streaking. That's, say, the last really the last weathering stage to be done on it. And remember, one thing, especially when it comes to weathering, less is more. Okay, don't overdo it, unless you're actually doing a totally rusted out vehicle. Then off away you go and enjoy yourself and all that kind of thing. But don't overdo it. Don't overdo it at all, especially with rust streaks, because you can kind of go overboard, and you can get very, very caught up in doing things, and you can go overboard. So I'm going to leave it at that, lads. Let me know what you think in the comments box below, and also subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. And by hitting the bell, then you'll be notified as soon as I upload another video. And like I said, in the comments box below, you can let me know what you think of the rust of my rusting method, and anything else you want to ask me, you can also stick that in the comments box below. So I'm going to love you and leave you with these final words of stay safe out there, take it easy, be nice to one another, and go out and buy yourself a kit. Build it and enjoy it. John signing off. See you soon, lads. I'll leave a couple of close-up pictures at the end of this, and you know, like I said, stay safe. See you soon. Take care.